our second portion. We did the cleansing, the kind of like prepping skincare-wise the face. So we're going to go into what we would do on a daily basis to apply the makeup and colors and foundation and priming. So I will let Deb take over.
All right. I really like the priming part. I mean, you just have to think of it like you're applying paint to a wall. You can't do it without a primer. The benefits are so much better, and it's similar to primer paint on a wall. Your makeup is going to last longer. It's going to look better, and the colors are going to be more true, and you get all those benefits, plus the age-fighting benefits in the primers. So, you know, while you're doing it, do it right and look younger. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to start with moisturizing your skin. I like to do that right before I put on my foundation, or my primers for my foundation, because you want a nicely fresh, moisturized skin. And I just had Angela do that a second ago, so you can.
Oh yeah, because definitely a tip I have is that you want to do it, your moisturizer, you want to give it a little time to sink in before you put the, that's my experience, put the actual makeup on. So again, no smell that would be aggravating to anyone. And I would say, I mean, I feel like my skin is plumper in a good way. Like I feel like it's not tight and it just feels nourished. You know, that kind of plumping where you just like a baby. So, I mean,
Right, there's a lot of priming to do, and it's all in your best interest. First thing we're going to do is prime your lips, and actually we're going to do a mask, a lip mask, which is just similar to a mask for your face. You just apply it to your lips and go in little circles, and it exfoliates that dead skin, and in the wintertime it's just fabulous, but you need to limit it to once a week because we don't want to tear up your lips.
Okay.
And then we're going to apply the lip balm. Now the lip balm is products. Your wax-based products actually pull moisture from your lips to the wax to kind of equalize the moisture. Whereas this is very moist on its own, and it actually penetrates the skin and moisturizes underneath the skin.
Oh, okay.
So it's a really good product, and usually when I do classes and ask people what their favorite part is, they're like the satin lips. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit out here on a little plate for her.
Okay.
And you can just pick that up with your finger and rub it in a circular motion, and we're going to leave it dry for 3 or 4 seconds or minutes while we go on and do some other priming.
Again, no horrible smell, which I know I keep saying over and over again, but can be a deal breaker. You know, people are so allergic nowadays to all kinds of things. Alrighty.
Okay, we're going to put on eye primer first. You put this on with I usually use my little finger. It has a waxy feel to it, and it kind of seals your skin there. It keeps your eye makeup from being absorbed into your skin and creasing. It also is made white, and that adds just a little brightness to your eyeshadows that you put on. So it kind of keeps them from, you know, looking like they're skin colored.
Right.
It keeps the skin from showing through, I guess it would be a good way to say it.
And I have
And that's our
oily lids that crease easily, so I'm always looking for some kind of holy grail item that I don't feel like I have to check every time I use the restroom at work, wondering if it looks like a creased mess.
Well, I have some friends that have oily eyelids, and they've had good luck with that, so maybe that'll work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel the waxy kind of
I
feel?
do. I do.
It's just...
So I think what I like about that feeling is, you know, it'll help. I think it would help the eyeshadows you know, stay on top instead of sink into my oil. And that's what I'm so worried
Float
about.
into your oil
Yes,
if you're
that's
like
true,
me.
that's true.
Okay. Then we're going to put your concealer on. We're going to use an ivory base concealer, and because you have very little ivory skin. And this concealer, I'm going to have to say the same words I've said with about every Mary Kay product, and that is it doesn't take much. I'm going to put out a little line or a little dot of this, and I want you to take a tiny dot off the top of the dot. Okay? Well, you want a brush?
Oh, yes.
Let me give you our concealer and eye brush. This again has the synthetic bristles so that they can be washed frequently, they can be washed easily, and it won't absorb the fluids that you put on it and get all gobby. That's about 30 times too much. There you go.
I knew I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear, you know, like, you hear the instructions, but you don't quite do what the instructions say? Do you?
We can pat off if it gets too much.
Yeah.
Now the secret to concealer is to color within the lines. If you've got dark lines under your eyes, stay on the inside and just to the edge of the line. And you don't want to get over onto skin that you're going to put foundation on that doesn't need the concealer, because it does add a little brightness to it.
I always make this face. Does anybody else see
Yeah.
that? It's like my
How we hold our
mascara
mouth.
face
Yeah.
too, you know?
How we hold our mouth is so important to how we put on our cosmetics. It's like that's the Kodak moment that you want the candid camera for when I'm doing facials, and you know, pop. Here's your makeover.
Exactly. Now for me, you might not have to, but I know for me, I go up a little higher because my dark circles, for some reason, I feel start here and go this way. So if you saw me do this, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, but I like to. So I like how quickly, yeah, that was just enough. It was, I barely had any on there once I wiped the excess off. And another problem that I have is because I am getting those fine lines there, that I have to be real careful that I don't cake it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel at all like it's caked, and that it's just sitting in those lines, just, you know, it's a good color, it's covering up what I'd like it to cover up, and
That's what I like to hear.
I know.
Satisfied customers.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I like to hear. Okay, we're going to go back and take your lip mask off. Use a little bit of our oil-free eye makeup remover. And do we have a clean one there?
I'm sure. I had one and I probably did something with it. I'm sneaky like that. No. Is there a reason why, I mean, since it is two different, you don't need to shake it up? Or
Yes, you do.
You do?
You
Okay.
do shake it up.
I guess you must have the knack of knowing to do it however you put it on that thing. She's a pro at that.
I've done it once or twice.
I bet.
This is my 4th year as a Mary Kay consultant, and I have enjoyed every minute of it.
What's the number one thing that you think keeps you staying with it? And I feel you have a passion for it, so you know, I think everybody should have a passion for something. So
honestly, it's the personal growth.
oh.
I have grown so much. I'm so much more comfortable around strangers, and my director really pours herself into me.
Cool.
And both her knowledge and her experience, but also spiritually, socially, you know, she really tries to make Mary Kay a great experience for me. So that's been just phenomenal, and I think you'll hear that over and over.
Mm-hmm. And how long has Mary Kay been in business or around?
Mary Kay is a family-owned business. And
Still?
Yes, still a family-owned business, completely debt-free. They have been, we just celebrated last year our 50th anniversary.
Oh.
And was our annual convention, which we call seminar, was just fabulous. Everything was glittered with gold.
Oh,
you know,
fun.
because gold's your 50th anniversary
Right.
color. So it was just a blast, and we had a great time there, even if it was in Dallas in July.
Oh.
Late July.
My husband's from there. It's pretty warm down there.
Yeah, pretty hot. Okay, we did our eye primer. We did our concealer. Now this is
Oh, we're
our
going to
next
put
one.
I took the lips.
Oh yeah, okay. That's right. We need to do the lip balm. I'm going to put this on early in the stage, and we will just take it off then right before we apply our lipstick,
Okay.
so that your lipstick will be all conditioned and ready for your lipstick. But we want to remove it if it's still on there and hasn't been absorbed, just depending on the natural hydration of your lips.
Now, you were telling me when we were kind of milling around and setting up stuff that you keep one of these, just the
The lip balm.
the lip balm. Well, they look the same. Lip balm by your nightstand, and I can see why.
Mm-hmm.
No funky flavor, no. It's good. I'm always looking for something because I personally, I mean, I feel like I take good care of my skin now that I've learned that I need to. My lips are something I
Well,
just don't take care of.
You know the true reason you keep it at your bedside is because it makes you more kissable.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, this is our one of our newer products. It's our foundation primer. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mhm.
When this came out, I thought, okay, they're just bringing up something for us to sell. I mean, this is pretty far-fetched, foundation primer. But then I had a friend do a test on the back of her hand where she applied the foundation primer here and nothing here, and dusted some powder on. She made the powder a little dark for her skin so she could see it. This side, you could not see the lines and wrinkles in her hand.
Oh.
It takes care of those little bitty skin cell wrinkles and lines.
I like that.
And it's like a magnet to your makeup. It just keeps your makeup going longer.
Oh, okay.
And so it is phenomenal stuff. Just takes a tiny, tiny amount. If you'll, I'll take my little tray, or I'll get another one here, and I'll show you how much it takes. I take 2 lines, and it's white on white, but I take 2 lines about a ½ inch long, and I just draw it on there. And one line will cover half of your face, and the other line will cover half of your face.
Oh, okay.
The other half.
Alright, so
There
I
you
just
go.
put the 2 lines of primer on there. You can't see them because I took them both. And I must say, the first thing that came to mind was just silky. My skin, the skincare made it feel smooth and soft, but then this gives it just that extra, just a silky feeling to it. It's, I was telling her earlier, I've used, much like a brush junkie, I am a primer junkie because I'm trying to find that holy grail. And I've been through high end to low end, and I haven't found it, but maybe I have now.
The trick to this is don't rub it into your face, rub it on your face.
Okay.
It just goes on, so you don't, that way you don't lose that silky feel and don't end up with more of it on your hands than on your face. You want to just rub it on. Okay.
And then you were saying how long to kind of keep it on before you...
Wait about 30 seconds
Okay.
before
That's
you
doable.
before you apply your foundation.